What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rock Talk with your host, Alex Alexander. Guys, today we have a fantastic album. We are reviewing Zepp 3, the third Led Zeppelin album. Guys, this is one of the greatest rock and roll albums ever. And first off, look how cool this cover is. Once again, owning a vinyl, owning the record, you get this. Here's the backside. So cool, guys. So much artwork. There's the song track list there. Picture of all four. And then this is, they give you an like sort of alternate cuts and demo takes and things that the band did of the album. So cool. All right, so why am I choosing Zepp 3 and not 1 and 2 first? Well, there's a couple reasons. Number one, the Led Zeppelin documentary issued by the band came out, and there's so much information out there about the first two Led Zeppelin albums. They're amazing. They're fantastic. But this is where, in my opinion, the writing of real Led Zeppelin starts. This is where they get creative. The other two albums, they were, they were just great rock and roll and blues. Just fantastic. But this album is different. They start adding acoustic melodies, acoustic guitar, different kinds of vocal approaches, different ethnical, instrumental, attacks about going towards the music. And just a bunch of other amazing things. This is much more colorful of an album, not just by the album cover, but the musical colors, I feel like, are a broader spectrum in this album. So let's talk about it. So, the members of Led Zeppelin, right? You have Robert Plant, who is in my opinion, one of the greatest lead singers of all time. Just, balls to the walls, just super, super intense and amazing as a frontman. You have Jimmy Page. Honestly, in my opinion, I think Jimmy Page is the best guitar player in rock and roll. I know I'm going to get so much hate for that. There are so many amazing guitar players. Jimmy Page. The list goes, I could talk about guitar players forever. Me, personally, Jimmy Page is my guy. I love his approach to acoustic and electric guitar. It's fantastic. Anyways, moving on. John Paul Jones, bass, keys. This guy is the best utility player ever. John Paul Jones is, he's kind of like the secret weapon of the group. John Paul Jones filled up so much space. And then, of course, on drums, John Bonham. John Bonham is, I know I said that Ringo is my favorite drummer. I think John Bonham is the best drummer. Now, a lot of people, again, there's the guitar players and drummer, the people online are going to be fighting and butting heads over, no, he's better. Well, my own opinion, John Bonham, greatest rock drummer of all time. Continuing on, third Zeppelin album, it was released on October 5th, the year 1970. It was recorded in 3 different locations, but most of the tracks were recorded at Headley Grange. Now, for those of you who don't know what Headley Grange is, it's a house. It's like a country house, all right, that was out, and they literally brought the Rolling Stones mobile recording studio truck and ran wires from the truck into the house to record this album. The sounds of that house are just unmatched. If you can hear it audibly, you literally can hear it and be like, oh my gosh. There was something about the acoustics in this house that was just fantastic. Of course, the biggest example is when you go to Zepp 4, when you think about when the levee breaks and stuff, and John Bonham is hitting that drum beat in the house, and it just echoes off the walls. It just sounds insane, right? So that house was absolutely perfect. It was a perfect recording situation, and it just made the album sound incredible. Plus, it gave the guys a chance to get away, go there, be kind of in a remote location, and just be a band and just come out with an album. So, right off the bat, this album starts with Immigrant Song, which just, takes your head off. It's just, I mean, just insane, going right into the next song is Friends, which is haunting. And in my opinion, when the song Friends starts on the album, it's different than every other Led Zeppelin thing you've heard until that point. Zepp 1 and Zepp 2 are pretty much full steam ahead blues rock and roll. Immigrant Song starts off this album slamming. Probably the heaviest thing that you've heard of Zeppelin to this point. And then Friends happens, and it changes the game. So then, of course, you go into Celebration Day, and then you get the blues masterpiece, one of the greatest blues songs of all time, Since I've Been Loving You, on this album. Guys, if you haven't heard that one, listen to it. If you've seen the live performance, I mean, there's no words that can describe how good that is. Continuing on, we have Out on the Tiles, great song. Gallows Pull on the side 2. Tangerine. You know what I love about the song Tangerine on this album is they're not afraid to be so perfectly crisp with the recording. You can tell it just sounds like they're performing it. I mean, there's a couple little guitar things that you're just like, it's not perfect, and that makes it perfect. You know what I mean? Like, they're not afraid to just go out there and do it. Like, it doesn't sound like it's so, like, crisp to every single detail. And like today's music, you listen to the radio, everything is quantized, everything is so, like, I don't know, just so digitally mixed that it doesn't sound real, in my opinion. It's not real anymore. This album is totally real. Totally real. And then, of course, after Tangerine, so you have That the Way, you have, Brown You Are, and then Hats Off to Roy to end this awesome album. Guys, in my opinion, this is such a great album, guys. If you haven't gotten a chance to listen to this album, please go out and do that. This is definitely a super unique album. A lot of times when people talk about Led Zeppelin, they're either going to be like, oh yeah, Zepp 1, Zepp 2. A lot of people say Zepp 2, Zepp 4, House of the Holy is pretty much, those are the three that always come up, like, unanimously. Zepp 3 is so unique out of the bunch, out of all their albums. They do have 9 studio albums, including Coda, if you count that. But I'm just saying, it sounds... Oh, apparently my dog... I do have a puppy. His name's Teddy. Super cool. Anyways, fantastic album, guys. If you want a pressing, obviously it's like $25, 23 to $25. Fantastic at your local record shop or online on Amazon. You can get this album. It is highly available. So, guys, go out, buy yourself a copy. This has concluded today's episode of Rock Talk. In the next couple videos, I'm going to talk about, because, I want to start talking about Ozzy Osbourne, because the Black Sabbath return concert, there's a lot going on with that. There's a lot happening in rock and roll right now. So we need to discuss that. So that will be an episode where I'm not going to review an album, but I'm going to more talk about the situation. And, of course, see what your guys' opinion is on it. So anyways, thank you so much for listening to Rock Talk. Once again, I am Alex Alexander. Let's keep rocking.